Do you know that this body, when you are about to die, and the spirit that was given to you is leaving you, that soul that came on you, if that soul is leaving you back to where it came from, let me say he came from. Do you know that in the book of Luke and Matthew, there was a place, the story of the rich man and Lazarus. The Bible said, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. Next, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, I want to be like Abraham. Whether in hell or in heaven, you are still his father. It doesn't matter. So those in hell are Abraham's sons. Those in heaven are Abraham's sons. What type of man that it pleases God that he made him a father of all souls, whether in heaven or in hell. And God gave him an apartment in heaven. He gave him a place called Abraham Bosom. The word Bosom means, it connotes fatherhood. So which means Abraham fatherhood. So in heaven, there is a place where Abraham father people. So those who don't believe in spiritual fatherhood, when we get there, you'll be surprised. Even in heaven, Abraham referred to the rich man in hell, son. So it was not an interaction between God and then a rich man in hell and Lazarus. It was an interaction between Abraham and then a rich man. He said, son. So Abraham was now giving the judgment now. I want you to get something. Why was Lazarus in Abraham's bosom? And I told you, what pained me was the rich man sending Lazarus. So that is why I said everybody must get money. Because what type of man is that? You are poor on earth. Everybody was sending you, and even in heaven, they want to still send you. He said, Father Abraham, send Lazarus. So the differences were clear. Now, look at it. The Bible said there is a place in heaven where Lazarus was, and that place was called Abraham's bosom. So when God lowered his spirit from himself, when he cut part of him and put him in mortality, and that is you. When you die, the soul have to go through a process before the soul reach God. Because that's what I was telling you, that the soul cannot go to God straight with all it has gone through on earth. Do you know that if you are given an opportunity, a glimpse to be in Abraham's bosom in one hour, you will see the souls that have died entering Abraham's bosom. Some are entering angry. Do you know the number of people who have died through witchcraft manipulation? Sometimes people will even die and you can see tears on their eyes. They went through pain to die. So some goes there. No, they were going through pain, but that does not mean they are going to hell. They are going to Abraham's bosom. So some are entering the environment or the city of Abraham with pain. Some are entering with hate. Some are entering with bitterness. Some are entering with unforgiveness, anger, all sorts of troubles. Because physical happenings around your environment can affect your soul. It can crush your soul. So there is an Abraham bosom. So when Abraham was bargaining with God, he told God, give me a place in heaven where I can father souls. It was not the body of the guy Abraham referred to son. It was the soul of the guy. So Abraham is not a father to physical bodies. He's a father to souls. So it was the soul Abraham said, son, because it was the soul that was in torment. Now, look at it. Abraham had bargained with God and he had taken a part. There is a contract he has taken in heaven. And part of that contract is what? Preparing the souls of men before they meet the Father. So Abraham must cool your soul. He must take your soul through a process. That soul Abraham is educating is to be able to meet God the way it came out of God. The way it came out of God, it must go back there the same way. So which means Abraham will have to take it through. There is a process. There is a schooling. There is a purification. That is why Abraham bosom exists. Because Lazarus could not just go to heaven straight. Depending on what have happened to him on earth, it has crashed. It has affected the soul. He can't enter there like that unless he's schooled and trained what to do on earth. So this was what happened. So Abraham has a responsibility and a contract in heaven where he trains souls. He schooled them how to meet their father the way they came out. So the spirit came from God. Part of you, it came from God. It was lowered to adapt on how to live with mortality. So it entered mortality. From mortality, it went back to Abraham's bosom. And in Abraham's bosom, it also had to go through another schooling before it goes back to where it's coming from. So Abraham had to school that spirit of yours and bring it to a level where it can go back to God how it came out of him. So you see that even God, there is a process. Because when God comes directly to your mortal body, you will die. And when you also die and go to God direct, you will still die again. Because you can't go to God. That is why Isaiah was confused. In Isaiah chapter 1, he was a prophet. Chapter 2, a prophet. Chapter 3, a prophet. Chapter 4, prophet. 5, prophet. But chapter 6, he said, the year King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord. So who sent you in chapter 1? Who were you speaking for in chapter 2? And who spoke to you in chapter 3? Which voice did you hear in chapter 4? And what vision did you saw in chapter 5? Until you are in chapter 6 and you say, you saw the Lord. Isaiah repented in chapter 6. After seeing, that was not God. That was a seraphim. It was the throne of God with a seraphim. That wasn't God. So you see, the prophet who was judging Israel for their sins, for adultery, fornication, stealing and lies, was now calling for mercy. He said, for I'm a dead man. I'm done, I'm dead. For I'm a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in an assembly of unclean people. So he now heard heaven having a discussion. Whom shall we send? And Isaiah said, send me. Who sent you initially? Who was he speaking for? God. So if you enter God's realm without being schooled, you will die. So that is why there's an importance, or there's an existence of Abraham bosom. What I want you to understand is that Abraham bosom conditioned your soul to meet your father. It conditioned your soul for supernatural encounters with your father. In Abraham bosom, your soul is conditioned to meet God. It's conditioned to go back to where it came from. That's what happened in Abraham bosom. Some people stay in Abraham bosom longer than some people. That is why abortion is dangerous. Doctors will tell you it's nothing, but in the realm of the spirit, the blood speaks. The Bible said the blood of who? Abel was speaking. It was crying for revenge. The blood. In the realm of the spirit, men don't speak. It is blood that speaks. So somebody can come to Abraham bosom today, and tomorrow he's being conditioned to meet God. And somebody can be in Abraham bosom for more than 3 months. Why? Your stay in Abraham bosom determines the physical happenings to you on earth. Because if your soul goes there with a lot of troubles, you must stay long to be conditioned. But a baby who is just a baby, nothing, he don't know anything, just died now, will go there all of a sudden. You'll be there and the baby will be exalted to a higher heavens, and you are still there. You should know that Abraham bosom is paradise. And paradise is not the main destination. It's just a passage.